of what this country rightfully owes us. And so I'm calling on all of the people of this city. This week, obviously, we're celebrating Juneteenth. We are moving forward with our reparations task force. There's some great activity around securing housing, healthcare, and education for our people. Let's take our outrage and let's build political power to ensure that no matter what people try to do to try to intimidate us, to try to terrorize us, we're going to fulfill the hopes and the promises of our ancestors.
So I think I've just got one more question on the same topic, I think. But when we look at the makeup of the of the police department, and we know that there have been people of different thoughts than yours and mine may be that make up the department, would any of that play into the fact that this has been a slow moving train to figure out who this perpetrator is? And I stay here, Mayor, simply because the harsher we come at it, it seems the less likely people would be to be as demonstrative in sharing their hate. And we know this to have been a symbol of intimidation. And it just feels that we need to be sure that people know that we will not be intimidated by such symbols at this point.
Yeah, look, you are spot on when you talk about we have to make sure that the people who feel emboldened in this moment know that we're not just going to stand idle as such an egregious attempt to intimidate us to be on full display, particularly in that area. We're talking about the economic engine of the region, of the state, and quite frankly, as the global capital of the world, especially at a time, I think, as you've articulated, you're seeing a growing strong force of resistance in this country, and it's being led by Black leaders, not just here in Chicago, but around the country. And so, there is, I can assure you, the full force of government will move around this act. And as the investigation continues to unfold, the individual or individuals responsible for this, blatant symbol of hatred and terror towards our people, that we will hold all individuals accountable. I think the last thing too, Rufus, that I'll just express, I connect this to our global struggle. And I think that's something that as a people, we have to begin to raise the consciousness of our people, not just as Blacks here in America, but the fact that, Haiti, the uniforms for the Haitian soccer or football team was adjusted or curtailed, quite frankly, because of its political expression. We're talking about Black resistance right just, in our region. And we know the history of Haiti, and we know the connection to Haiti into the establishment of this city. And now a Black Haitian immigrant that established this city that is being ran and led by Black folks. It's not a coincidence. And I think we should not look at it that way. And I'm going to continue to call on our people to not just push back and express outrage of this act of terror, but to ensure that we build the political power that's necessary to make sure that our people are secure and safe and can live healthy, vibrant lives throughout the city and really throughout the planet.
Yeah, I say amen to all that, Mayor. We haven't talked since this turn back on the Voting Rights Act has happened. And certainly you're in a political position, but this permeates throughout our country. And, all politics are not local, because these are things that happen on a national basis or happen in other places that impact us here. What are your thoughts and what are your recommendations to the listeners around the country on what we do in this moment?
Yeah. Look, there's not a single right in this country that anyone enjoys that has not been brought to them or us by Black people, our struggle. The Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, women's rights, labor rights, all of these rights are tethered to our struggle for enfranchisement, for the ability to pursue and experience happiness. And when I look at what's happening around the country, and I look at the attacks against Black mayors, whether it's Tashara Jones in St. Louis, whether it's Ed Gainey in Pittsburgh, both of whom are no longer leading their respective cities, or London Breed in San Francisco. I mean, I can go on and on. Melvin Carter in St. Paul. There's been a concerted effort to undermine the base of our democracy, the base of our humanity. And so for us here in Chicago, we have an opportunity. And same thing with our sister in Los Angeles. She is battling for her reelection as well. It's an intentional attempt to divide our people, to essentially have Black leadership questioned. We have inherited the most extreme circumstances. And as we celebrate the opening of the Obama Center, we remember what our economy was like when President Obama took office. I mean, we were just experiencing this great recession. And what I'm calling on for our people in Chicago, we have to not just get registered, we have to get active. We have to see the global connection, that as much as we have to continue to fight to secure our liberation, we cannot separate our liberation from foreign policy that's disrupting sovereign states, whether it's in Cuba, Venezuela, or Haiti, or what's happening in South Africa. You literally have Ghanaians and Nigerians who are seeking refuge in South Africa. And while white migrants are being protected in South Africa, Black African migrants are being chastised, and in too many cases by our own people. I mean, we're seeing this great divide that is being promulgated by white supremacy, and we cannot fall for that trap. We have to see whether you are a West Sider or South Sider, or whether you are a Haitian or a Ghanaian. If we don't begin to see our interconnectedness globally and how foreign policy plays a part and role in how we're able to educate our children, how we're able to house folks, how we're able to secure transportation, how we're able to respond to environmental injustices. If we don't begin to see our interconnectedness, not just here in Chicago and around the country, but around the globe, we're going to miss an opportunity to build the political capital that I believe that we have to secure as an entire race of people that protects the interests of all. We have seen it over and over again. Rufus, I'll close with this. When Black folks secure liberty, it benefits all. Now, I'll be the first to admit, have we been able to fully benefit and reap from what we have sown? We have not. Right? I'll be the first to admit that. And that's why the $1.25 billion bond investment, that's why I protected the Black student success. It's why I put over a $500 million into our public schools. It's why I've reopened mental health clinics. The long road to justice, to secure full reparations. We cannot, simply look for, this immediate check, especially after 400 years of subjugation. We're going to have to continue to build that economic power. And that starts with voting, that starts with elevating our consciousness, but it also ensures, and it extends well beyond the borders of our city.
Appreciate that, Mayor. Just one more thing, and I'll let you get to your day. Dr. Marklin King was summoned to speak on the Hill last week, and it seemed that the conversation was not about education as such, but it seemed to be more about transgender rights and Christian religion. Given what we try to do here in Chicago, and given that we've got a lot that's changing with respect to the governance of our schools and the performance of our children, what do you take from this appearance there? And going forward, how do you see us moving our children to understand all the things that you just reflected? Because absent education, we will not survive.
And look, if there's one thing that I'm absolutely committed to, and that's our young people and our families. And you're absolutely right. We have to build sustainable community schools. It's why we fought for that within the last teacher's contract. I wanted to make sure that local communities, And many of these sustainable community schools are in our neighborhoods where the local school council, community-based organizations, faith leaders, small businesses all play a part in the educational outcomes of our children. We can no longer expect that these silos and working in isolation is going to address the long-term disinvestment in our communities, and ensuring that our young people have opportunities, not just during the school day and school year, but year round and after school. It's why if you're 14 years old in this city, you can get a stipend for a job. And here's the thing, Rufus, some of these stipends are directed towards young people to have summer access to academics, right? I mean, we have found creative ways where children are taking, algebra and geometry and literature over the summer, and they're getting a stipend for it. This idea that somehow the traditional form of education is going to be satisfactory for our people is just nonsense. And so what happened on Capitol Hill is an absolute sham, and quite frankly, it was a distraction. There is, I believe, a consciousness that is arising amongst our young people. They are becoming that much more vocal. Dr. King used some very profound words that when he talked about the voice of the unheard are often expressed through writing. And I think we have to hear the outcry that our young people are displaying. I mean, that's James chapter 5, woe unto the rich for denying rights to workers, woe unto the rich who have denied access. But of course, the Bible says that the Lord heard and hears our cry, and that we have to hear the cry of our young people. We have to hear the cry of our young people, ensuring that we're creating good paying jobs, creating a pathway for them to find their purpose. It's not enough for them to be able to figure out geometry and proofs if there's not a job attached to it. We have to help our young people connect their studies to careers, connect their studies to their purpose. And that's why we're investing not just in our K-12, but we're expanding at our community colleges. More Black young men are enrolled in our community colleges than any other subgroup. So those opportunities are being made available, whether you want to go into construction and the trades, or whether you want to go into professional or healthcare services. All of this has to be connected to purpose. And unfortunately, we've seen the Department of the Education gutted and dismantled. So we know this president and extremism in this country is not interested in educating our children. And finally, it's not just the federal level. The state of Illinois woefully underfunds our schools, period, point blank. And I don't care who gets upset about it. My job is to advocate for our people. The state of Illinois rightfully owes the city of Chicago $1.6 billion. That's not a federal problem. That's a state problem. And so the challenge that we have as elected leaders, we have to go after the revenue as our economy shifts and becomes more digitized. I passed a progressive revenue form that the governor of Illinois has followed my lead around social media. There are other means in which we can tax at the state level. If we're sitting around waiting on the federal government to fund our schools, that is derelict of duty. The state of Illinois owes the entire state over $3 billion in education funding and $1.6 billion for Chicago Public Schools. Let's fully fund our schools to protect our people, to ensure that we can live out the hopes and aspirations of our ancestors.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, thank you so much for answering the call so quickly and so demonstratively. Come on and talk about this issue, which is troubling on so many different levels, all the ones we talked about, but particularly this cross burning. So we're looking forward to hearing the resolution and the dragging in of this person so that people understand this is not acceptable. Not now, not here, not ever. Thank you so much.
Right on. Thank you, Rufus. Anytime. God bless you, WVON. Peace.
All right. Let's find out from Annette what else is going on in the news. Got much more for you this morning right after this.
Partly cloudy skies, temperatures climbing into the low 80s. Good morning. I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. We're counting down the days to the historic grand opening celebration of the Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago.
Our goal is not to just create a monument to my presidency, but rather to describe for anybody who visits how Michelle and I and so many others stood on the shoulders of those who had fought the good fight before us.
It has been 10 years in the making, and Thursday, America's first Black president of the United States will kick off the biggest grand opening party this city has ever seen. The president and First Lady Michelle Obama are in Chicago this morning. Over the weekend, Obama played basketball with some kids on the center's basketball court and spent time with children and their families on the new playground in Jackson Park. Yesterday, the First Lady sat down with Abbott Elementary star Quinta Brunson to record a podcast with a group of young girls in the audience. Now, Thursday's invite-only event will include performances, storytelling, and remarks from leaders with an official watch party staged at Midway Plaisance in Hyde Park. Then on Friday, doors open to the public to those lucky enough to score tickets when they went on sale. Obama Foundation CEO Valerie Jarrett has been giving WVON exclusive updates leading up to the historic week.
From Harold Washington to Nelson Mandela to Eleanor Roosevelt to the president's mom. I mean, they're just, this place is steeped in history to remind people that, you know, we all stand on shoulders of people who sacrifice so much for us to have the opportunities that we have.
The beautiful $850 million center is expected to be an economic engine for the city and the South Side and is projected to draw more than 1 million visitors per year. Valerie Jarrett says Friday's Juneteenth holiday opening day will be a full experience. Well, hundreds filled the House of Hope Church on Saturday for an emotional celebration of life for Spencer Leak Jr., who died unexpectedly 2 weeks ago. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson was there.
The history of Leak & Sons Funeral Homes, it's an institution. And Spencer joined that legacy at the age of 12, I understand, which sounds like he really didn't have a choice there. But he ensured that every family, regardless of their financial means, were treated with dignity and respect. And because of that, Leak & Sons has become a trusted staple within our community and throughout our entire city.
Former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. reflected on how Spencer personally led and planned the funeral of his father, civil rights icon Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., at the very same church.
Spencer was the best our community ever produced. Mama and Daddy Leak, every child, every middle-class parent wanted your boy. They wanted their children to be like your son.
Spencer's daughter and son tearfully paid tribute to their father.
In this moment, I can't believe that my dad has passed. This is a loss that I truly do not understand, and I don't think I ever will. But I know his presence continues to light up my heart and the heart of so many others, and it will do so forever and ever.
Man, I love you so much, Dad. But I know there will be a day that I will see you again, Dad. Oh, man, I know you're up there looking down at us and you'll be guiding us through life. And until that day comes, this is not a goodbye. This is an until next time.
Spencer Leak Jr. was a close friend to WVON. He was vice president of Leak & Sons Funeral Homes, a legacy empire. He's being remembered as a compassionate business leader who often provided dignified services to families who could not afford a funeral. He was laid to rest Saturday. Spencer Leak Jr. was 56 years old. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 7:37.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
If you spend hours looking at screens, remember the 20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. It's a simple way to reduce digital eye strain and keep your eyes comfortable. This healthy reminder is sponsored in part by Dr. Ansel T. Johnson and Vision Salon Eye Care Associates.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Angela was. She called Civic Tax Relief and saved over $80,000. Felicia was having health problems, got behind on her taxes, interest and penalties were adding up. She called Civic Tax Relief and saved over $15,000. Civic Tax Relief is a professional tax negotiation firm that can protect you from the IRS. If you're getting collection letters, call Civic Tax Relief for a free consultation. They will go to work helping you discover all the relief programs you may qualify for free. James owed the IRS $37,000. Civic Tax Relief represented him against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, he did not owe the IRS anything. If you are in trouble with the IRS, call Civic Tax Relief for your free consultation now. 800-200-2257. 800-200-2257. Get a free consultation and real tax relief. Call 800-200-2257. 800-200-2257.
Beauty is more than style, it's a story, and now you get to hear it straight from the source. Solo Beauty Supply presents the Hair Tour radio show, coming to WVON Saturdays at 2 p.m. From Chicago to the West Coast top salon owners, pull back the curtain on the business, the culture, and the grind behind the chair. From building brands to shaping communities, this is where beauty meets boss moves. Tune in, tap in, and take notes. The Hair Tour radio show, Saturdays at 2 p.m. only on WVON.
This report is brought to you by Bank of America. Bank of America sponsors the FIFA World Cup 2026, dedicated to offering solutions to help businesses meet their goals locally and globally. More at bankofamerica.com/game changers.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
WVON is celebrating Black Music Month with the Chicago Catalog, celebrating the legendary artist who gave the city its soundtrack. Brought to you by AARP. From the soul-stirring harmonies of The Impressions and Jerry Butler to the timeless brilliance of Donny Hathaway, Minnie Riperton, and Sam Cooke, Chicago's sound has always been bigger than the stage. We're honoring the funk and fire of earth, wind, and fire, the unmatched voice of Shaka Khan, the poetry and power of Curtis Mayfield, and the global movement born from Chicago house music. The Chicago Catalog is more than a music series. It's a love letter to the artists, innovators, and culture shapers who turned Chicago into one of the greatest music cities in the world. The Chicago Catalog is an exclusive feature of WVON and brought to you by AARP, a proud supporter of Black Music Month.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Get $5 off at alignprobiotics.com.
Hey, it's Cleopatra Draper. Join me for the Midday Show weekdays at 9 a.m. where we'll sip and spill all the tea. Do you want it hot or cold? Either way, we're serving up the flavor of the day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on the station giving you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Discover. When you hear a good idea, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're going to start out with a reminder of all of the street closures happening because of the Obama Presidential Center opening. Now, between 57th Street and 63rd, expect street closings along Stony Island, Dorchester, Woodlawn, all the way in Hyde Park and in around Jackson Park. Taking a look at your travel times, we are looking at a 25-minute trip in along the Ryan from 95th Street into downtown. Things are still moving well along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. Nothing major along DuSable Lakeshore Drive for now. As you make your way inbound along the Stevenson, a 40-minute trip in from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. Give yourself 50 in along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. Outbound, also a 50-minute trip. And a heavy start to the Kennedy in from O'Hare to downtown. Give yourself 45 minutes. Getting to the airport looks to be just about 31. Taking a look at our weather, a few clouds this morning. The National Weather Service says we're headed pretty close to 80 today. It looks like an official high around 77. Our low tonight, 52. Right now, we're looking at 59 degrees at Midway, is 59 in Rainbow Beach, and 59 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
I've got to color him father. I think I'll color this man love.
Welcome back. I am excited for a whole lot of reasons for this next conversation. Dr. Carol Adams is with us along with Kyra Woods. Carol has put together wonderful sisters talking about amazing men. Her book is titled My Dad, the Man, and you can come out, see her, get more information on it, meet some of the authors tomorrow evening at Gallery Gouchard from 6 to 9 p.m. But this morning, Dr. Carol Adams, good morning and welcome back to WVON.
Good morning, Rufus. It's great to be here.
You know, it's wonderful to be here with you. And every time you can't keep changing your hairstyle. You make people think you're in witness protection. You know, we can't
recognize me.
Well, let me ask you this. I love this book, My Dad, the Man. Obviously, my daughter was too busy to talk to you, or she would be in there talking about me. But it's wonderful to have the folks that you have there. Tell us about the genesis of this book. Why did you decide to do it? And how did you pick these sisters to write these stories?
Well, first of all, I had a wonderful father. Okay. So that, and many people, many of my friends did as well. But long ago, I used to be head of African American Studies at Loyola University, and I did a study on Black women politicians. And one of the findings that I was not expecting was the father influence on these women who ran for office. Okay. And so it always stuck in my mind that this unexpected finding that these were daddy's girls, that their daddies had given them confidence and the feeling that they could do and be anything. I wondered if this was true in other areas as well. So now that I have the time and the space to concentrate on the work I want to do, I decided that I wanted to write about it because more and more I'd be talking with friends and they talk about their fathers and the influences they had on their lives. I've also always been very disturbed by the negative imagery that we hear, the narrative that is always about Black father absence, or Papa was a Rolling Stone, or hey, he couldn't do a lot of things, but he sure could swear, and all those, we reinforce them in our songs and everything. So about 2022, a study came out of the Centers for Disease Control about fatherhood. And in the study, they said the demographic that spends the most time, fathers that spend the most time with their children, are Black fathers. And I said, wow, I got documentation now even further from an unexpected source, that says, hey, Black fathers are not only present, but they spend more time with their children than other fathers. So I just wanted to get that out, Now, it's a combination of serendipity that allowed the people to be chosen. Friends, people I knew, folks who told me about their dads, folks where it came up in conversation and someone would tell the story. Listen, immediately today, I could have a book 10 times this big because everybody that hears about it says, oh, you should have asked me about my dad. Oh, what about me? Oh, no, I want to write about my dad. So I expect a second edition at some point, but we're clearly going to do some other things to get those stories out. We're going to do some podcasting and some a website where people can post stories about their dad.
So wonderful rationale, wonderful people. And in reading through the book, I'm learning more about my friends, our friends, through the connections of their fathers that I didn't know. But, everybody begins with some origin story. And you've got probably joining us this morning one of the youngest authors who's there.
Good morning.
Yes, you do. I want to be cross-generational.
It worked. It worked indeed. Kara, talk a little bit about your story and how it happened that she came to you, and tell us about Michael Woods.
Yeah. So my dad, the man, is Michael C. Woods, and it was truly a blessing and honor to be able to write about him and about our relationship. As Dr. Carol Adams shared, about her time at Loyola University, my dad actually was one of her students. My parents had the pleasure of meeting at Loyola, and we credit in her class, exactly. We credit Mama Carol for that. And so that is in part how I got connected. But truly relationships are, kept through the years, and that's right there. And so I am grateful that I too can, have my own personal relationship with Mama Carol, and she could say, you know what, not only did I know your dad, but I know you. And I think you two have a special bond that's worth it, capturing in this particular edition, the first edition. But yeah, my story is special. I actually lost my dad when I was 17. And so it was a wonderful opportunity to lift his story, a snippet of our story, in a way that I think is mirrored actually in other chapters too, of other daughters who lost their dads at various parts of life, but the ways that we still carry their loving legacy with us, or the impressions that they made on our heart in beautiful ways. And so I share a story that's related, that ties together some music, some of his humor. People called my dad Big Mike. And so I definitely have to take a nod to his stature, but I say in my piece, it's not just his stature that draws your attention, but it's his character that makes people pause and stop and stay a while. And obviously he stays a while with me in my heart because he's my dad, but it's something that I got to witness time and time again with not only me, not only my little brother, but others. And it's something that I value so, so much, and something that I realized I really took to heart and I try to embody even subconsciously. And as I wrote this story, I said, oh yeah, that's the thing I got from my dad. And I can own that more proudly, and love that I can attribute that to him too.
Carol, the beauty of being an educator is the force multiplier. And here you see this happening in real time with this wonderful sister who's now written about your student, her dad, in your book. I see also joining us is the lovely, and I learned so much about Africa just reading about her dad in this book as well, things I didn't know, but it explains so much that I now know about her and where she's come from. Let me take a quick break. We're talking with Carol Adams, Kyra Woods, and we'll be as well talking with Africa Porter when we come back right after this about my dad, the man.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Father's Day is Sunday, June 21st, and WVON invites you to honor the fathers and father figures who have made a lasting impact on your life. Whether it's your father, grandfather, uncle, mentor, coach, or another special man who helped guide your journey, we want to hear your tribute. Call 773-336-3456 and leave a heartfelt message, or download the WVON app and use the open mic feature to record your greeting. Your message may be featured on the air, so be sure to tell your family and friends to tune in, because every great story has someone who helped write it. This Father's Day, help us celebrate the men who made a difference. Call 773-336-3456 or download the WVON app and use the open mic feature to leave a message. Happy Father's Day from the Talk of Chicago, WVON.
Smart conversations with smart people makes us smarter. And that's exactly what you get on Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams. This isn't surface level talk. This is where authors become experts, where books become blueprints, and where ideas are challenged, not just discussed. From Colin Woodard on Nations Apart, to Gloria J. Brown Marshall breaking down the history of protests in America, to Gary Tyler sharing a story of resilience and redemption in Stitching Freedom. These are not interviews. These are conversations that matter, because every book has a story and every story has a deeper meaning. Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams on Bond TV. You can catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, and VON.TV.
It's D.L. Hughley.
When you see things like what happened in Virginia, where they had a special election and expanded seats for the Democrats, Republicans have been putting their fingers on the scale of the elections forever. They've always done it. They've always gerrymandered. But now they have gerrymandered everything to the nth degree that they don't have any more room to gerrymander. And now these Democrats have picked up 10 to 12 seats. Even after this is all over, we got to get back to people who are involved in the pedophile ring. We got to get back to ICE brutalizing people. So the war is a distraction, but from some pretty horrible that we got to get back to.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
This report is sponsored by ComEd. With nice weather, do-it-yourselfers and ladders come out. But did you know electricity can jump from power lines? So call ComEd to have your power lines de-energized before you work near them. Call 1-800-EDISON-1. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel.
We will not be held responsible for any accidents.
It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Back when I was a child.
Welcome back. Everybody should be jealous of me because I have the opportunity to talk to these amazing women every morning. Today, I am joined by Dr. Carol Adams, Kyra Woods, and Africa Porter, talking about My Dad the Man, Black Daughters in Praise of Their Fathers. It is a celebratory book with a celebratory book release and signing happening tomorrow evening from 6 to 9 at Gallery Gouchard. Carol, who's going to be there besides you tomorrow evening?
Well, most of the writers who live in Chicago will be present. There are about 5 writers that don't live in Chicago, and one of them is in. Deborah Brown Farmer came in town. She said she wasn't going to miss this, so she's here and she'll be there tomorrow night. But let me tell you who, they're all extremely important, but let me tell you who I'm geeked about that's going to be there. The 5 living fathers will be there. Out of the 26 fathers written about in this book, 5 are still with us in the body, and they will be there so we can honor them in person. So I'm going to be able to say to them that famous phrase, "You are the father." That's exactly who they are. And one of them, Cat, whose daughter we all know, Charmaine Riquette, Uncle Remus's chicken, is 99 years old. He will be 100 in 2 months. And he's going to be with us, so we get a chance to actually honor them. All the fathers will be with us because they're with us all the time. They are the people who made us who we are. So we always feel them and feel their presence. But to have those 5, I'm totally geeked about it.
Well, it's crazily exciting. Let me bring in Africa, who we haven't had a chance to hear from yet. Africa, I mean, we've known each other now for a bit, but reading your story about your father helps me to know you so much better. Your dad was a powerhouse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know him well. We were colleagues back in the day.
Yes.
So talk to us, Africa. Tell us about him.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you. You know, I've known Mama Carol, I'm sorry, Dr. Adams. I call her Mama Carol my whole life. And she knew my father before I knew him. And so I remember when I was coming home and he told me to consider going to Northeastern and Center for Inner City Studies. He said, well, you know, Doc is there. At that time, she was just Doc. Everybody wanted to run around here with PhDs like that. But you knew Doc, and that was Mama Carol. And he said, you need to go over there because you're going to be well taken care of. Okay. So me having this moment is just so surreal for me. And for her to even asked me to be a part of this project, I'm super excited. My father was a man that did not know a stranger. I would come home from school from Kenwood, and the person that would be deemed mentally ill, that we would see like on the streets in Inglewood or in Hyde Park, would be at the kitchen table. And I would be like, oh, that's House. They called this man House because he was the size of a house. I said, oh, hey, House. And he'd be like, hey, what you got in arithmetic today? What they teaching y'all up there? I bet they ain't teaching y'all nothing. And it was just like, you know, common for us to see people like that some would snub their nose around, right? My father was a man that had a lot of countenance, a lot of integrity. He worked with Dr. King for a long time. So he had good organizational skills, which is why I have to give credit to a lot of the work that I do today. You know, being an organizer takes skill, but it also takes a lot of humanity and compassion for people. You understand? So you have to kind of know and have balance, you know. My father was in the Army, and what we have now, the email situation, he got a telegram from Dr. King. You know, so for those who are listening, what's that? Today we got email, we can text, but he got a telegram when he was in Germany, and Dr. King said, Port Island heard about you. I need you to come help us fight this fight. And so it's like reasons like that, you know, and stories like that about my dad. You know, my father knew my mom in kindergarten, and he was on the other side of the tracks. They were very, very poor. My mom sat with store owners in the 1940s, and he went and got on one knee and asked her parents, the old school way, I need to take her with me to the north because I'm going to be doing some work for Dr. King. They said, well, Johnny, you ain't got no money. And he said, but I got integrity. I'm going to have some. I'm going to take care of her. Came to Chicago, lived in Evanston, pastored there, the church there, pastored in Inglewood, bought a home in Hyde Park. The rest is history. I'm the youngest of 6. We all do work in the community, and I'm grateful.
You know, it's a fantastic, Carol, you know, having done it, it seems so obvious to do it. These stories are just so keen and so important and so special. So thank you so much for doing it on behalf of all the fathers. It's just a wonderful, wonderful tribute. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening down at Gallery Gashard. I'm sure the doors are going to, folks got to get there early
Yes, so they can get their books and give their books to their dads and just recognize and let's celebrate our dads because they're amazing.
I love each of you. Thank you so much for your writings, and thanks so much for being with us this morning. I'm just so jazzed for this week coming into so much.
Definitely.
So thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Rufus.
Take care.
Oh, we'll be a push Saturday.
And it push on Saturday.
Push on Saturday. If you miss tomorrow night, come to push on Saturday. You can get a book.
There you go. So make sure you get, whatever you do, make sure you get one. Thanks again, ladies, for writing, and thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Rufus.
All right, let's find out from Annette what's in the headlines in Black Information News. I've got much more for you on the other side.
Turning bright and sunny as temperatures climb near 80 on this Monday, June 15th, 2026. I'm in Illinois. Into the headlines. Mayor Brandon Johnson is speaking out exclusively this morning on WVON about the shocking sight of a burning cross in broad daylight in Grant Park last week. The President and First Lady Michelle Obama are in Chicago this morning, counting down the days to the historic grand opening celebration of the Obama Presidential Center. And hundreds filled the House of Hope Church on Saturday for an emotional celebration of life for Spencer Lee Jr., who died unexpectedly 2 weeks ago. National news from the Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM, WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 8:04.
Here's BIN News Now. The United States has reached an agreement with Iran. In a post on Truth Social, President Trump declared the removal of the U.S. naval blockade on Iran, allowing the Strait of Hormuz to reopen. Black Virginia Democratic Congresswoman Jennifer McClellan told MS Now's Politics Nation it sounds like good news. However,
we don't know if he's going to have a deal. He said the war is over and then it wasn't. He said the strait was open and then it wasn't.
Trump has also said gas prices will drop when the conflict is over. Jury selection begins today in the federal death penalty trial of a man charged in the 2022 racially motivated mass shooting at a top supermarket in Buffalo, New York. Peyton Gendron is already serving life in prison with no chance of parole after pleading guilty to the murders of 10 Black people in state court. The death penalty is now the center of his federal case. And a recent study has found that people who use GLP-1 medication engage in less physical activity, suggesting weight loss may not be tied to more exercise. Now back to you, Terry.
President Trump's lackluster approval rating is having an apparent negative impact on the GOP ahead of the midterms. Democrats have a 5-point lead in the battle for control of Congress. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on NBC's Meet the Press.
We only need to flip a handful of seats, and we will. With a focus on driving down the high cost of living, fixing our broken healthcare system, getting ICE under control, and cleaning up corruption. Fundamentally, we believe that America is far too expensive. The cost of living is way too high. There are far too many people who are working hard, they're playing by the rules, but they can't thrive and can barely survive.
The NBC poll, sponsored by nonpartisan nonprofit More Perfect, found nearly half of registered voters preferred to have Democrats in control of Congress following this year's elections, compared to 44% who prefer Republicans and 7% who were uncertain. Independents are leaning toward Democrats by a 12-point margin, and it's the same for a majority of Black and Latino voters, voters under 50, and those who are college educated. Republicans maintain the advantage when it comes to men, white voters, and those without a college degree. President Trump announcing an agreement with Iran. In a post on Truth Social, he said he was authorizing the immediate removal of the U.S. naval blockade and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said the two sides are expected to meet for a signing ceremony in Switzerland on Friday. Houston ISD is struggling financially, with enrollment expected to fall almost 2.5%, and that means less funding. The state's largest school district failed to pass its budget, instead pushing the decision off until the end of the month. The board approved a program in March for nonprofits to pay for specialty teachers' equipment and scholarships, but HISD would still have oversight. HISD says the partnerships mean the district will get an additional $1.2 million in state funding, opening. According to the superintendent's budget projections, HISD would lose just under $4 million through this partnership program. ABC 13 is asking district officials for an explanation about the loss.
Voters have picked these two candidates to move on, and I want to go out and make the case to voters that they should pick me, and that's really been my focus.
LA mayoral candidate Nithya Raman is responding to Spencer Pratt's video where he promised to expose alleged corruption in the city, targeting Raman and incumbent Black Mayor Karen Bass. In that short video released just days ago, Pratt said since he failed to advance in the primary, he's now free to speak out and claims to have evidence that could cause either Bass or Raman to resign. Bass leads the vote with about 34%. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Anxiety can show up physically through headaches, chest tightness, or fatigue. Your mind and body are connected.
Your health, our community, for WVON.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then, you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises. All on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices. Exclusively at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
WVON has been there since the beginning. And on Juneteenth, we will be there when history comes home. Join WVON on June 19th as we broadcast live on opening day from the Obama Presidential Center, a place built to inspire the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and changemakers. A place built on Black excellence. Juneteenth is more than a holiday. It's a celebration of freedom, resilience, and the enduring spirit of a people who transform struggle into strength and possibility into progress. Join your favorite WVON hosts as they bring you live coverage of this historic moment. Congratulations to President Barack and our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. It's been a long time coming, but the Obama Presidential Center is finally here. On Juneteenth, we're live from the OPC because in Chicago, history isn't just something we remember, it's something we create. We're WVON.
Stop by the Illinois Lottery's Hot Wins Dollar Days of Summer event for a chance to win up to $25,000. Find them on June 17th at Plaza of the Americas, 430 North Michigan Avenue from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talks. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONWealthShow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Blindster.com for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Don't forget, we have a wide range of street closures because of the Obama Center opening, grand opening coming up this week. Right now, we're looking at between 57th Street and 63rd along Stony Island, Dorchester, and Woodlawn. Be sure to read those signs. Checking your travel times. The inbound Ryan, no changes. You're still looking at a 25-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Ford, things are moving well. They will slow down just a bit right there at Cottage, then stop and go to the Ryan. As you make your way along Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, you'll move along at the posted speed for now. Things are still pretty quiet along DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Nothing major there. The inbound side of the Stevenson, you do want to look out for an accident. It's at Pulaski Road. Your inbound trip from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 40 minutes, 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower still just about 50 in from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip, a slight improvement, but still heavy at 45. And the Kennedy, 40 minutes in from O'Hare to downtown. Your outbound trip to the airport just bumped up to 35 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, those clouds are giving way to some sunshine. We're expected to see plenty of it, so grab the sunglasses. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of around 77. Right now it's 69 at Midway, 69 in Chatham, and 69 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Celebrate the freedom to be. Happy Pride Month. We are WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
You wonder how I do it. It's just one simple rule. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Hey. R-U-F-U-S. What's that spell? R-U-F-U-S.
Welcome back. I think everyone knows by now that Bally Chicago is opening down on near Halsted and Chicago Avenue. Roads have been blocked, bridges are being restored, but importantly, the casino is moving forward, and in doing so, they're going to need some people to help them. We've got joining us this morning Ryan Coppola. He is the Vice President and General Manager of Bally Chicago to talk about some of the opportunities that come up with the opening of this resort. Ryan, good morning and welcome to WVON.
Hey, good morning, Rufus. Thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, we need to have you on, particularly when talking about what you're speaking. When we think about this resort, obviously there's a lot that's going into it, but it's going to take a number of people to really help this be world class. Talk about the kind of jobs that you're expecting to hire, the number of people that you're expecting to employ, and what's going on from that standpoint.
Yeah, it's incredibly exciting, and the size and scale of this opportunity for Bally's in the city. You know, we're going to employ 3,000 construction jobs that are already on site and continued through the end of construction. And then after construction, as we start to open, we'll go from a team member base of today at the temporary casino, we have around 700, and we're going to hire another 2,300 people, get towards 3,000 to open our casino and resort.
That's fantastic. Now, all these positions, you mentioned some of the construction positions, but you've also got some pretty high-level positions you're looking for to fill.
We do. Today, we are hiring the executive team and the leadership team to help us prepare to open the resort. And then at the temporary casino today, we're also hiring hourly level, management level. And what's great about the temporary casino and then moving over to the permanent site is we have opportunities today, really at every level. And then again, hiring out the leadership team to help us open this integrated resort. So very exciting and lots of great opportunities.
What kind of experience do people need in order to fulfill some of these positions? Because, you know, Ryan, we haven't had a casino in Chicago. And so finding people with that particular experience who are in the community may not be it, at least casino experience. But what kind of experience do people need in order to be successful at Bally's?
You know, it really depends on the role, but for many of them, you really don't need any experience at all. We're we're very prepared and ready to help train and get the team members all their skills built up and ready to get into their roles. A great example is our dealer training school, where we take people with absolutely no experience, take them through a whole journey of training and skill set preparation. So when they hit the floor, they're ready to go. And we've been able to do that now, 700 strong at the temporary site. And that's what's so great about this opportunity is it's a great introduction of gaming to Chicago, brand new industry. And we bring in leaders that have the experience and they help build up those skill sets with all these people that we bring into the family of Bally. So great process and great opportunity for folks with zero experience to join our team.
Yeah, I want to spend a moment there before I take this break. But for people, I mean, a number of us play cards, but dealing in a casino is very different. Have you developed some training connections to try and help people be more prepared for these kind of roles that come up? Because these are places where really this is what the casino does.
Maybe I'm not following you, Rufus. Are you asking how the program works?
How the program works. Have you developed some other training programs to work to try and get people prepared for some of these jobs that they will do when they come into the casino? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. So we have a robust training program for really every role. So any role you step into, you're going to go through your introductory training, your onboarding training, and then you're going to do hands-on training. And what's great about our team today in Chicago is we have great operations, the core of it. We have team members that'll be side by side with you. Your leaders walk you through all the things you need to be successful and to be able to perform in these roles and have your job security and longevity. And that's what's so great about this industry is the fact that we're able to introduce brand new skill sets to the market. If you look at the size and scale of Bally's, we've been able to do this many times as the company's been growing. And so we have a great process of bringing people all the way from day one with no skill set, no experience, to all the way to being floor ready and game ready, which is fantastic.
We're talking this morning with Ryan Coppola. He is the Vice President and General Manager of Bally Chicago. Bally's is hiring. Phenomenal opportunities that are there. When we come back after this break, we'll talk about how to access those. We're back more with Ryan right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives. A Ravinia Black Music Month feature showcasing music that makes us think, love, cry, feel, act, and move. Music that reflects our stories. Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives.
Stevie Wonder, signed, sealed, delivered.
Ravinia, celebrating Black Music Month. Experience the transformative power of live music. Get tickets at ravinia.org.
It's D.L. Hughley.
If it weren't for the Black Panthers, American children wouldn't have free breakfast. Now, I don't know many groups that are only bad that feed children. The Klan only gave us Burning Cross. I guess you could warm your breakfast up on one.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Dr. Carol L. Adams invites you to a special evening celebrating the release of her new book, My Dad, the Man, Black Daughters in Praise of Their Fathers. Join Dr. Adams and the contributing authors as they honor the fathers, grandfathers, mentors, and providers whose love, sacrifice, and strength help shape generations. The book release and signing takes place Tuesday, June 16th from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. at Gallery Gouchard, 436 East 47th Street in Chicago. Come meet the authors, purchase your copy, and be part of this powerful tribute to Black fatherhood. My Dad, the Man, celebrating the fathers whose stories deserve to be told and remembered.
This is the story of the one.
the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Blindster.com for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
The inbound Ryan still consistent and steady at 25 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Rhine along the Bishop Ford, looks like you will hit the brakes right around 103rd Street, then stop and go all the way in. But your travel time still pretty much close to the posted speed. As you make your way along Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, things are moving well. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, not too bad. Northbound from 67th Street to Jackson, we are seeing a cluster of traffic right around Roosevelt Road. That's mainly due to that stoplight. Elsewhere, the drive moves moving well. As you make your way along the Stevenson, still factor in that earlier accident at Pulaski Road, making that inbound trip from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 minutes, 40 traveling out. The Eisenhower, still a 50-minute trip from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 45 on the return trip. And things have settled down a little bit along the Kennedy. You're looking at 35 minutes from O'Hare to downtown, now a 36-minute trip to the airport. Taking a look at our weather, bright and sunny today. The National Weather Service says pretty mild, though. Temperatures are expected to top out in the upper 70s. 77 is our official high. Tonight, in the 50s. 52 is our low. Right now, we are looking at 62. That's 62 degrees at Midway. 62 in Chatham and 62 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flornoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. We're talking this morning with Ryan Coppola. He's the vice president and general manager of Bally Chicago, opening up the casino soon and looking for people to fill up to 3,000 jobs.
Acts of hatred.
Ryan, when we think about what's happening in the new casino, the larger resort is obviously opening up. The last final beam was signed and elevated earlier this year. What will happen with the temporary casino? Will the people who are working there migrate over to the larger resort when that opens?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's our core team today. And we're going to need that team that's developed that skill set and that great service and hospitality culture. And that's really going to be the core of the team and the DNA that goes over and helps welcome in all our new team members to get to that final number.
And so for the other positions that you'll need to fill, how can people access those? What is the best thing for people to do?
Yeah, so there's a couple avenues. First and always is ballychicago.com. At the bottom, you'll see our careers link, and that outlines every job that we have available even today. And that's where we'll be posting all the upcoming opportunities. We also attend local and community job fairs, and you'll see our recruitment team out there representing Bally's. The next one that's coming up is actually at the Urban League this week. We'll be at UIC. So you'll see our team out and active in the community, and then everything posted on our website as well.
Ryan, you have a sense of when the casino will open? How are things progressing with the construction?
Yeah, construction's going great, on time. We are still targeting substantial completion first quarter of next year.
So substantial completion gets you real close to an opening. You guys have you identified an opening day yet, or is that still to come as things move a little bit further along?
That's still to come. We're going to work very closely with our regulators and the rest of the group to be able to come up with an opening date that we can then communicate to the public. A little early for that, but the good news is with construction on site, you mentioned the topping out. That was a massive milestone for construction, and we have those 3,000 folks I mentioned on site working to get construction wrapped up here as soon as possible.
With some of these other positions, when we think about a vice president of sales or marketing or facilities, slots, those kinds of positions, do you hire those now or do you hire those later? Do you hire those and put people on ice until then? How does this actually work in the practical sense?
Yeah, great question. We have a couple different scenarios. There's roles that we're hiring for today that are strictly for the temporary casino, right? There's hourly roles, management level roles that we need to continue to operate that site until we move over. We also have roles that we're hiring today that are going to come on and help us build out all of the opening plans, all the training, the resources, and really the entire playbook to open the resort. So we have really every level of role available today, and you'll see more of these leadership roles open that are intended for the resort site as we need those disciplines to come in and we need to recruit those skill sets. And you mentioned some of those, like highly skilled roles such as facilities or slots. Those are folks that we would recruit that have those skill sets to come in, and then they'd be able to pass on that knowledge and skill set onto the team members we'd hire on and have the program ready to receive them.
Look, excited about what's coming to Chicago, excited about what Bally's is bringing in this resort. I can't tell you that I'm real excited about the traffic that's coming to my neighborhood, but we'll take it. It is exciting to have it coming in, and exciting to have you come on and talk about the opportunities that are presented here at Bally's. So appreciate you for that, Ryan. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Oh, man. Thank you. We appreciate this. We're absolutely thrilled and ecstatic about, Bally Chicago, what it's going to mean for the community and the city and for all of the amazing team members we're going to welcome to our family. So appreciate the time, and thank you very much.
No, thank you. Now, if we can just get the Bears to stay, we got everything going in Chicago, but that's a whole other conversation.
There you go.
Thanks again, Ryan. Appreciate you. All right. Let's find out from Annette what's going on in the news. I've got more for you when we come back after this.
Turning sunny and pleasant today as temperatures climb near 80. Good morning. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. Mayor Brandon Johnson is speaking out exclusively this morning on WVON about the shocking sight of a burning cross in broad daylight in Grant Park last week. WVON's Rufus Williams pressed the mayor on why it's taking so long to finding the perpetrator and bringing that person into custody.
It's stunning that we have not been able to find this person. And, for most of us who are here and who are listening, to find him and drag his raggedy ass back into the prison so folks can see and understand how unacceptable this is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look, the potency of hatred towards our people is still severe, though we're not always reporting these acts of hatred directed towards our race, hatred directed towards our progress. And our superintendent, our police department, we are working to make sure that the individual or individuals who are responsible for this, blatant act of hatred towards our people and towards our culture, that we hold them accountable to the fullest extent of the law.
Father Michael Flair is offering up a $10,000 reward for information leading to arrest. Historically, a burning cross is a symbol of white supremacy, violence, and racial hatred. For now, Chicago police are treating this as an arson case, not a hate crime. We're counting down the days to the historic grand opening celebration of the Obama Presidential Center right on the south side of Chicago. The President and First Lady Michelle Obama are in Chicago this morning. Now, over the weekend, Obama played basketball with some kids at the center's basketball court and spent time with children and their families on the new playground in Jackson Park. Yesterday, the First Lady sat down with Abbott Elementary star Quinta Brunson to record a podcast with a group of young girls in the audience. Now, Thursday's invite-only event will include performances, storytelling, and remarks from leaders, with an official watch party planned for the Midway Play and Sons in Hyde Park. Then on Friday, doors open to the public to those lucky enough to score tickets when they went on sale. Now, Obama Foundation CEO Valerie Jarrett has been giving WVON exclusive updates leading up to the historic event.
From Harold Washington to Nelson Mandela to Eleanor Roosevelt to the president's mom. I mean, they're just, this place is steeped in history to remind people that, we all stand on shoulders of people who sacrifice so much for us to have the opportunities that we have.
Now, Valerie Jarrett says Friday's Juneteenth holiday opening day will be a full experience. Well, hundreds filled the House of Hope Church on Saturday for an emotional celebration of life for Spencer Lee Jr., who died unexpectedly 2 weeks ago. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson was there, and former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. reflected on how Spencer personally led and planned the funeral of his father, civil rights icon Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., at the very same church.
Spencer was the best our community ever produced. Mama and Daddy Leak, every child, every middle-class parent wanted your boy. They wanted their children to be like your son.
Spencer's daughter and son tearfully paid tribute to their father.
In this moment, I can't believe that my dad has passed. This is a loss that I truly do not understand, and I don't think I ever will. But I know his presence continues to light up my heart and the heart of so many others, and it will do so forever and ever.
Man, I love you so much, Dad. But I know there will be a day that I will see you again, Dad. Oh, man, I know you're up there looking down at us, and you'll be guiding us through life. And until that day comes, this is not a goodbye. This is an until next time.
Spencer Lee Jr. was a close friend to WVON. He was vice president of Leak & Sons Funeral Homes, a legacy empire. He's being remembered as a passionate business leader who often provided dignified services to families who could not afford a funeral. He was laid to rest on Saturday. Spencer Lee Jr. was 56. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 8:35.
This Juneteenth, the Obama Presidential Center opens to the world on Chicago's South Side. The ancestors are proud. We're WVON.
WVON's Health Awareness Month, sponsored in part by OSF Complete Care 55+.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
This Black Music Month, WVON presents the Chicago Catalog, celebrating the artists who gave Chicago its soundtrack. Brought to you by AARP.
Known as the Iceman, Jerry Butler was one of the pioneers of Chicago soul. As the original lead singer of The Impressions, alongside Curtis Mayfield, Butler helped introduce the world to a sound that would shape generations. His solo career produced classics like He Will Break Your Heart, Only the Strong Survive, and Never Give You Up, earning him a place among the most influential voices in soul music. With his smooth vocals and timeless style, Butler helped define Chicago's musical identity. But Jerry Butler's impact extended beyond music. He became a respected public servant, serving for decades on the Cook County Board, proving that artists can shape communities both on and off the stage. From Chicago street corners to stages around the world, Jerry Butler gave Chicago its soundtrack, and the world never stopped listening.
The Chicago Catalog, an exclusive Black Music Month series brought to you by AARP, a proud supporter of Black Music Month.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON has been there since the beginning. And on Juneteenth, we will be there when history comes home. Join WVON on June 19th as we broadcast live on opening day from the Obama Presidential Center, a place built to inspire the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and changemakers. A place built on Black excellence. Juneteenth is more than a holiday. It's a celebration of freedom, resilience, and the enduring spirit of a people who transform struggle into strength and possibility into progress. Join your favorite WVON hosts as they bring you live coverage of this historic moment. Congratulations to President Barack and our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. It's been a long time coming, but the Obama Presidential Center is finally here. On Juneteenth, we're live from the OPC because in Chicago, history isn't just something we remember, it's something we create. We're WVON.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Blindster.com for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
You know, Monday is one of those popular days people call off. The roadway's not bad this morning. The Ryan in from 95th Street into downtown down to 21 minutes. Getting there along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, you move along at the posted speed. As you make your way along DuSable Lakeshore Drive, no major problems there. Still seeing that cluster northbound right around Roosevelt Road. Pretty much a stoplight delay. Otherwise, things are moving well. If you're on the Stevenson, you're down to 35 minutes in from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 35. Traveling out the Eisenhower, just dropping your travel time, 45 minutes. From Thorndale to the Burns Circle, that outbound trip, 45. And the Kennedy, not bad in either direction. A 35-minute trip in from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport, 35 minutes as well. Taking a look at your weather, we're expected to see some bright blue skies and a plenty of sunshine. As temperatures climb near 80, 77 is our official high, 52 our low tonight. We're at 64 at O'Hare, it's 64 in Auburn Gresham, and 64 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. There's a lot going on in Chicago this summer. It's no better place to be, which means there's going to be a lot of people moving around. There's going to be obviously a lot of fun, but also expect a lot of traffic. How to avoid it? Metro. Yep. Metro gets you where you're going 95% of the time on time. And for $2.50, you can get a ticket that gets you on Metro, CTA, and Pace. Children under 11 ride free, so it is the way to go, the way to get around, and the way to make things happen. The Obama Center is opening this weekend. A lot is happening there, so make sure you check out Metro. It's the way to really fly. Happy to have join me now a couple people who are involved in something that's pretty significant, although we're just getting around to talking about it this morning. It's the World Cup. World Cup fever is happening. Games are being played throughout the country. The excitement is monumental. However, there's one thing that is very common in World Cup. It is the ACL tears, which we hear in soccer, in basketball, and everything else. This morning, we have soccer coach Marcel Cunha and Dr. Sigman, Dr. Scott Sigman, who's an orthopedic surgeon, to talk about just that. Coach and doctor, good morning and welcome to WVON.
Morning. Good morning to you.
Good to have you. This is the World Cup fever is, I won't say it's out of control, but it's certainly exciting. But let's talk about, Dr. Sigman, this ACL issue. What is it? Why does it happen? And why does it seem to be more prevalent in soccer?
Yeah, so it is all about World Cup right now, right? Go Team USA. But the truth is, ACL injuries are incredibly common amongst all sports, just like you pointed out. Football, lacrosse, field hockey, skiing, soccer. The reason is the knee joint is a hinged joint. It does not do very well with rotation. So any sport in which you're stopping, starting, or pivoting, you're at risk for tearing your ACL.
So, Coach, talk about what happened with you. Obviously, you've worked through a lot of people, but you also had an issue yourself.
Yeah, so I unfortunately tore my ACL playing, and I had to go through the procedure. And I consulted with Dr. Sigman, and the bare implant was the best option for me. You know, as he mentioned, the body's ability to heal itself and the ACL there was imperative for me because I needed to be pain-free as soon as I could. I needed to be strong as soon as I could so I could go back out to the field and, you know, help out my athletes and coach again.
And Dr. Sigman, I will say everything is World Cup unless you're in New York, because everything is Knicks out here. It's a whole different place.
That is true.
Talk to us about this bare implant that Coach just mentioned. What is that, and how does that help the body heal versus traditional reconstructive surgery?
So traditional ACL reconstructive surgery, once you tear your ACL, we just take it out. We then have to drill a few holes into your bone, and then we pick a graft from someplace, usually from your hamstring or your quadricep tendon or your patellar tendon, and then we reconstruct it. With the bare implant, we're taking advantage of the body's ability to heal itself. And what we'll do is literally repair the ACL with suture. We're not going to remove it. We then take a novel collagen implant that looks like a marshmallow. We put that in over top of the repair, take the patient's own blood, put that into the knee joint, and literally it creates a healing environment in which the ACL can heal itself rather than having to go through a formal reconstruction.
Is that faster? It sounds less intrusive than the first thing that you described, which really sounded painful.
Oh, it is. ACL reconstructive surgeries, I've been doing this for 30 years, Rufus, and I can tell you it hurts and it takes a long time to recover. I want to emphasize that the bare implant, it still takes the same 8 to 12 months to be able to return to sport because of the psychological as well as physical attributes that we want to have before return to sport. But as Marcelo said, literally, you know, our patients don't need narcotics. They don't have the same pain from ACL reconstruction. Most of our patients have near full range of motion within 4 to 5 weeks, and they're literally able to walk around and ambulate and get around well. So they do well much better initially, but at the end of the day, it still takes that same amount of time to get back to return to sport.
Marcelo, how are you doing? How's it been working for you?
Oh, it's been fantastic. As Dr. Sigman said, we still go through the necessary physical therapy treatments, and we follow a parameter. But my confidence in my knee, I did a couple of tests the other day, and my injured leg was stronger than my non-injured leg, which is, you know, a good sign that my knee is responding well to the implant.
You have the psychological issues that the doctor talked about?
As a coach, I think I've learned to help guide players through psychological issues. So I think I use that on myself and play the mind game. But yeah, I know what my parameters are and I know what the expectation is. And we just look for milestones and different goals that we achieve throughout this process. And I think that helps with the recovery process.
Dr. Sigman, I don't know where you were when I tore mine, but it retired me from basketball. I'm glad this exists. And tell us how people can find out more about this process?
Yeah, we're going to keep it super easy. How about bearimplant.com/soccer? That's bearimplant.com/.
Fantastic. Marcelo, Chuna, Dr. Scott, Sigman, thank you so much for the work you do, for the testimony, and for coming on and sharing it with us.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Indeed. Be well. Let's take our final break. We'll be back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. It's D.L. Hughley.
When you see things like what happened in Virginia, where they had a special election and expanded seats for the Democrats, Republicans have been putting their fingers on the scale of the elections forever. They've always done it. They've always gerrymandered. But now they have gerrymandered everything to the nth degree that they don't have any more room to gerrymander. And now these Democrats have picked up 10 to 12 seats. Even after this is all over, we got to get back to people who are involved in the pedophile ring. We got to get back to ICE brutalizing people. So the war is a distraction, but from some pretty horrible that we got to get back to.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
That's the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy. With rebates on Energy Star appliances, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Discover more ways to save at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd, powering lives.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Blindster.com for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
traffic and weather now.
This doesn't happen very often, but a pretty quiet morning rush hour on this Monday. As you make your way along the Ryan, you're down to just 20 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, you will move along at the posted speed. Things are in pretty good shape along DuSable Lakeshore Drive. We're still seeing that little cluster right there at Roosevelt Road northbound. That's mainly due to that stoplight. Otherwise, DuSable Lakeshore Drive moving well. As you make your way in along the Stevenson, though, you do want to look out for a new accident. It's at Kedzie, not causing any delays. That inbound trip from I-355 to DuSable Lakeshore Drive, a 35-minute trip, outbound 35 as well. And no changes along the Eisenhower, still a 45-minute trip in from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 35 traveling out. And on the Kennedy in from O'Hare to downtown, that's a 35-minute trip. Getting to the airport, 35 as well. Taking a look at our weather, turning sunny and pleasant today. A pretty mild day in Chicago as temperatures climb near 80. 77 is our official high. Our low tonight, 52. We're still at 64 at Midway, is 64 in Austin, and 64 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Anna Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Your precious love means more to me than any love could ever be.
Welcome back. Titus, before I go to the calls, man, it was when the Spurs and the Thunder were playing, it seemed so clear that the champion of the NBA was going to come from the West. But in this David versus Goliath scenario, Mr. Brunson said, hold my beer, and changed everything. Your thoughts?
You're not lying. I was so wrong about the NBA Finals. I had the Spurs winning in 7, and clearly that did not happen, which is something I saw this morning, a complete stat that I've never seen before, that the San Antonio Spurs led 75% of the time in the NBA Finals versus 25%. And I'm like, how do you lead for 75% and lose the NBA Finals? And then I'm like, oh, well, that's easy. Jalen Brunson. I mean, he had, 47 in the clinching game on Saturday, and the New York Knicks deserve everything that they got. I was so wrong. I thought that firing Coach Tibbs was wrong, and then here we are with Mike Woodson, one of the best head coaches in the NBA, comes around, wins his NBA championship 19 years after losing the first one, ironically, against the San Antonio Spurs when he was the coach for the Cavaliers. So, I mean, shout out to the Knicks. They definitely earned it, and I'm not afraid to eat crow. I was wrong about all of it.
Shout out to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, he scored 45. The rest of the team scored 49. As I watched the game, and, I'm here in New York, so there was a level of passion, particularly for my son who I was watching it with. Quiet, annoyed throughout most of the game until the very end when the Knicks won. There is, I think, Titus, the issue of youth and the issue of heart. And New York had Jalen Brunson is a winner. He knows how to be a champion. And so that's what he did. And to think, we talked about how difficult it was to guard a guy who's 7'6". It was hard as hell to guard a guy who's probably no more than 5'11". But he was doing everything, going where he needed to go and hitting shots that you wouldn't think should be hit. I'm sure there are a lot of nightmares that the San Antonio team, coaches, supporters are having, but Jalen Brunson just brought it, and he indeed is the king of New York. And again, we had the conversation earlier about sisters and their fathers, but to see Jalen and Rick together was just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing that happened on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, that was the best part to me, to see them hug each other and all the hard work and sweat and tears that both of them put into Jalen Brunson's game, believing in themselves. I mean, we're talking about a guy from Stevenson High School who was champion at Villanova twice, the 33rd overall pick. And I know the Dallas Mavericks are kicking themselves because you traded Luka and Jalen Brunson and are restarting completely from scratch. And it's like, how in the world did you let that happen? So I think that is awesome from Jalen Brunson. I'm very proud of our Stevenson brother, Illinois' own. So,
Yep.
I mean, congratulations again. Well deserved.
Yep, and shouting out again for the little guys. So don't get confused about height in basketball. We be bringing it.
You know it. Let's go.
So yeah, congratulations. Congratulations to New York. Congratulations to the Knicks. They did what everybody else does. They burned up some buses and turned over some cars and did some celebrating. But you think about a town that is this big, man. The celebration on Thursday, they are just truly excited here in New York. And
were you out there flipping over cars?
No, I was too far away and not
Bro,
that.
You weren't flipping cars.
I'm not the car flipper. I'm not a car flipping kind of guy.
You know what's weird? They were actually shooting by my house celebrating. I'm like, these people got to be from New York because what are y'all out here doing? I mean, it was fireworks, it was gunshots, it was some of everything. And I'm like, this is Chicago. What are y'all doing?
Crazy. But yeah, the ticker tape parade will happen on Thursday, and wishing them nothing but the best. They played and they showed heart and they showed what to do at each of those points. No matter how far you're down, you can come back, and they showed it each and every time. So
it's so amazing that I got to see a Knicks win the NBA championship, the Cavaliers win the championship in my lifetime. Two teams that we never thought 50 plus years would win one, but they did. And then got to see a black president. I mean, life is good.
Life is good. And the only blemish on the Knicks championship playoff run was that one game when that one dude showed up.
Yep, that's it.
The only game that they lost. So there you go. Look, folks, I'm out of time. It's been a full and wonderful morning. Good to talk to the mayor, although we don't have the answers that we'd like to have. Look, they got to find this guy, and there needs to be the proper amount of outrage around it. So let's keep pushing it. And on everything else, make sure you get out there and get the book, support these sisters, and love us on some Black men as they have put together Carol Adams and the sisters about their fathers. Go get a job at Bally's, and now there's another way to get your ACL fixed. Anyway, we got much more coming back at you tomorrow. Kamini will be back. I'll be back in the studio. We're talking schools on Wednesday. Give you much more about our trip to Charlotte on Thursday, and on Friday, we'll be at the Obama Presidential Center. Look, do not miss a day. Don't miss a moment. We got a lot going on, and be with us. Annette, thank you so much as always for giving us all the information that you do that gets us through the day. And Titus, thanks for keeping all these things together, no matter how I try to mess them up. But appreciate you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, as I always do, as you go through the course of the day, you will come across people who are dealing with things that you know absolutely nothing about. So please be kind, always. And with that, Annette, tell us what's in the headlines, and T-Dub, take us home.
Turning bright and sunny as temperatures climb near 80 on this Monday, June 15th, 2026. I'm Annette Flornoy, in the headlines. The Chicago City Council Finance Committee is scheduled to meet today to discuss the possible